We are live. Good evening, everyone. Or should I say good afternoon, good morning, good night, depending on where you're tuning in from. My name is Nipun, and this is another episode, well, another live stream. It's not really an episode of any podcast. It's just discussing Thomas Tuchel being appointed the next England manager. Is it finally coming home, or is it just another failed experiment? I am joined today by Chelsea Perspectives, Matt J. Ball. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's a nice little late night stream, which explains a little bit the dressing gown. But we roll whatever time of the day it is. Of course, I'm happy to talk about Super Tommy T taking England to the promised lands.
Yeah. So you obviously think it's coming home then?
Oh, 100%. As soon as it was announced, I wrote to all my friends on the group chat, it's coming home. Even my friend who's
any of
German,
them Scottish by any chance?
No,
any of them Scottish? No.
One of them's German, so he was.
He must have been a bit. Was he awkward about that?
No, he didn't mind it. He likes Thomas Tuchel, but he said it'll be a lovely little Tuchel Klopp standoff in the World Cup, because that's who he thinks is going to take him into the next World Cup.
So he doesn't think Julian Nagelsmann will be there for the World Cup.
He thinks that if the German FA can get Klopp into the job, then they will.
Yeah. Also, everyone tuning in, apologies for the complete lack of the complete lack of where I am right now. I'm literally on the road because of some overturned vehicle on the M25.
Nipping, you got to predict these things. But big up to everyone in the chat, because obviously naturally Nipping cannot read comments while he's driving.
People shouldn't be idiots when they're driving then none of this would happen.
Yeah. Well, big up to keeping it real in the chat. It says big up to Nipping and Matt. Big up to you. And hopefully Chelsea win tomorrow. Hopefully Thomas Tuchel wins it for England. And hopefully we can all laugh at Arsenal.
True Gooner. Let's laugh at them right now. Let's laugh at them.
True Gooner comes in at perfectly right time to say big up when I'm saying we're going to slag off Arsenal.
Yeah, big up True Gooner.
Allow it. It's fine. You guys are never going to win the league. You guys are never going to do it. You're golden generation, and what have you won? You've won one FA Cup that was thanks to Anthony Taylor's bullshit, by the way. And in that time, terrible Chelsea have won 3 trophies, while you've won 1. We won't count the dinner plates, if you've won any dinner plates in the time. You won 1 FA Cup, we won the Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup, and we're not in our golden generation. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, fair play for True Gooner showing up. I thought he would hide after that absolute Bournemouth shit show.
A big up to Jordan Hyman, even though he's saying that we'll lose tomorrow. We'll see. You
watched that stream last night, did you?
What stream?
In which Jordan Hyman said we would lose.
No, he's literally just commented that now.
Oh, fair enough. Because he was saying it on a stream last night as well.
Yeah, Jordan, I'm going to subscribe to your channel right now.
So, are you confident going to Anfield?
Confident is probably not the right word to use. I mean, I'm not I think we will win, and I'm more confident. I'm actually probably more confident than I would be against, say, your smaller teams.
City, Arsenal.
I think there's a lot for us to exploit against Liverpool because I don't think Liverpool are as good as being top of the league shows. I think they've been game. Obviously, the Forest game they lost. Obviously, we drew, so we know Forest is a tough team to play against. But I think there's other games where they've not maybe looked as good. And of course, we're not perfect either. But I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's always been an interesting and close game between Liverpool and Chelsea. And I think we're due a nice little win. So hopefully we can get that on the roll and show that we do mean something.
That's the other point I'm trying to come across. That they always seem to say, "Oh, we can't beat them. It's always the small teams we come across and beat," and then when we come across an actual quality, we capitulate.
But I think actually we do better against the bigger teams, so I don't think it's too much of an issue. Obviously, this could be our famous last words in terms of this, but I am fairly confident that we can do something in this. But we'll have to wait and see. The only thing that annoys me is once again Alisson's injured. It always seems when we play Liverpool, it's always bloody Kelleher that's in goal, and he always puts up a man-match performance. So hopefully that can go the other way, and Kelleher can give us a goal or two, because it can be very frustrating when that happens. I think Nippin's totally bugged out, but I'll carry on anyway in his absence. So guys, anyone that is listening, I probably have scared off True Gunner already, and Jordan's probably still around, although laughing probably at my opinions. But what do you guys think of the England, obviously the England manager, Thomas Tuchel being in Super Tommy T? I hear a lot of this. Oh, he's not English, so I don't want him in. Well, for me, who do you want? Who realistically do you want in? Because the FA have kind of all this kind of released that Eddie Howe was not considered because of the high compensation he would have with his Newcastle deal. So take him out of the equation. You've got Graham Potter, Sean Dyche, Gary O'Neill, Steve Bruce. Who are we picking, guys? Who are we picking from the England managers? No one.
I'm back.
You're back. I was covering while you was gone, Nick.
Yeah, my dad called me, and since I'm streaming from my phone, it always kicks me out every time.
You should have just declined it.
You don't know what Asian parents are like.
I know. I am joking when I say that.
Yeah.
But yeah. How long are you away from the service station?
I think you saw a tunnel a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've just crossed junction 26. So just three more junctions to go. Anyway, no, this is not a drive-along stream. So, what are your thoughts on the British media saying, "Oh, it shouldn't be a German"? Because I guarantee you 100% that if Pep was the manager, they wouldn't say anything.
There was literally
this isn't World War II anymore.
There was literally a journalist. I can't remember his name.
This isn't World War II anymore.
I think it was the Telegraph he was working for, and he 2 days before he said before Tuchel was announced, he made an article saying how massively ambitious it would be to go for Pep Guardiola, and England need to do this, and it's been the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then when Tuchel got announced, he made an article saying how bad it is for the FA to go for a foreign coach, and that they should have gone for an English person. And I'm like, man's changed his opinion within 48 hours. Completely 180. All right.
You can call him
Pep
out, Matt. I
Guardiola
know
is not.
exactly who he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know the
I know
names.
exactly who you're talking about.
I don't know
Tom
the
Garrett.
journalist's
He
name.
does a string with that. He does a string with Rory Jennings.
Well, that explains it a lot more. That explained. I can see the stupidity in that. Therefore, but yeah, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, Thomas Tuchel is a highly accomplished manager. Is great at the top level. He's also notoriously has a very good record in knockout competitions, which at the end of the day, that is the competition we are in. So I don't see the issue with it. If we were say, I don't know, if we signed Enzo Maresca, for example, making just this point right now, then I'd be disappointed because Enzo's got no pedigree, and I'd probably rather go for an English manager at that point. But if there's a top quality foreign manager, I'm not going to turn them down. I've said this for a while. We should go for. I mean, I've been on the bandwagon of Jose Mourinho for the job for a while. So I have no problem with it being a foreign coach. I have no problem with it being the German. I mean, everyone was all the media wanted Lee Carsley. Well, he's Irish. He's not English. He wouldn't sing the national anthem. So
he was born in the Midlands, though. He was
no,
born
but
in the Midlands.
So he does. He's Irish and he doesn't want to sing the national anthem. That's for me. That's just as much not English as Thomas Tuchel is.
Fair enough. But do you think Tuchel will sing?
It's just frank hypocrisy for Lee Cars for them to say, "Oh, Lee Carsley is an English choice." He's not.
Do you think Thomas Tuchel will sing the English national anthem?
No, neither really should he.
Sorry.
Why should he sing the national anthem?
Exactly. Like, then why are we getting on Lee Carsley's case?
I thought it was stupid in the first place. I don't see why the question needs to be asked. I mean, maybe Lee Carsley just should not have entertained the question. I think that was maybe a mistake. But it's just a super stupid question. Like you got, for example, the Hungary manager is not Hungarian. You don't see him. I don't think you see him singing the Hungarian national anthem. It just is what it is. He's not of this country, so he doesn't need to celebrate. Him singing the national anthem is not going to suddenly win us a World Cup. It's not going to suddenly win us a Euros. I couldn't care.
Facts.
As long as he does his job, that's all that matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter whether he's English, German,
Facts.
Martian, whatever.
Facts. So, when he first got appointed, I was scared that, oh my God, what if he's a Fabio Capello 2.0?
Yeah, he could be a Fabio Capello 2.0, but he could also be Thomas Tuchel. He could also be just a fantastic manager for us. We can't look back at, oh, what if he's this? I mean, people could have looked at Enzo Maresca and gone, oh, what if he's I don't know, make
Frank
an example.
Lampard?
Frank Lampard,
because he was also a championship manager.
Yeah. What if he's another Potter or whatever? He's not. You can't just make these comparisons. You don't look at, say, for example, try and make an example now. Can't think of one off my head now. I'm not thinking about it. Say, for example, Ten Hag comes into United at the beginning. Let's scratch what Ten Hag's done already. But say Ten Hag comes into United, they don't go, oh, I don't want Ten Hag because he's going to be another Louis van Gaal. What if he's another Louis van Gaal? You don't look at that. You just look at him and
Well,
look
right
back and try
now,
and
with all
compare
due
him.
respect, he's turning out to be much worse than Louis van Gaal.
Well, I know. Take away what to Tom. It's just an example of you can't just look at just because there's a similarity, such as it being a foreign manager, it being a certain nationality manager. You can't just make that comparison because they're totally different managers. This is also a totally different team. I do fully
That team was
believe.
full of superstars as well,
Yeah.
though, the one that Fabio Capello managed.
No, but that team could not play together. I think this team can play together. It has shown it.
Facts.
You don't get to a final of the Euros twice. You don't get to a semi-finals of a World Cup and a quarter-finals of the World Cup, albeit losing to France. You don't do that. You don't do that when you haven't got a good team that don't play well together. Maybe you get to one odd final, but you don't get to two. Potentially could have been 3 or 4. Really, we need to like. It's just not a good comparison because these guys. I honestly think if these players, the Lampard, Gerrards, Beckhams, and all that, could play together and actually get along with each other, I think we probably would have won something with maybe Capello. Maybe not Capello, but probably Sven. I think Sven, we could have probably won something, but we didn't.
There's no way we were winning the 2002 World Cup.
No, but I think we could. If Sven stayed a little bit longer, we probably could have won something.
Yeah.
But even with Capello, we probably could have won. We could have got something out of this. I don't like the thing of because it's a foreign manager, we've failed a couple of times before. I mean, how many English managers have failed? We still keep getting English managers.
Literally, all of them barring Alf Ramsey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw his first press conference, and just by that alone, I'm sold. He says, "I want to put that second star." That's giving me the same vibes when he said, "I want to be a team that no one wants to play against."
Yeah,
I'm getting those vibes.
I mean, that's the thing. We know what Thomas Tuchel's like. We've seen him in the flesh. We've seen him for a period of time. So we know what he's like, and we know that this is because some people will go, "Oh, it's kind of a PR type thing." In terms of he's just saying this to look good, but this is what he was like at Chelsea. He actually said similar phrases at Chelsea in press conferences. So it is just him. So I think he's going to do very well, and I think this does put the pressure back on the players in the aspect of now it's up to them as well to get the job over the line, not just.
So are they aware that Thomas Tuchel isn't one of those coaches that would give you, that would be, oh, it's all right, it's all right? Are they aware that he will actually give you a bollocking if you mess up?
I think there'll be a number of Chelsea players, a number of players that were with him at Bayern that will know this, i.e. your Harry Kane. Obviously, they're not in the squad, but your Mason Mounts, your Ben Chilwells, your Reece James, etc., etc. Your Conor Gallagher's to a point.
Yeah. I just hope the players know what they're going into. Like, he's not one that will. What's the term? Mollycoddling. He's not the one that will do that.
No, he'll stamp down his authority and he'll say this is how it's going to be. Obviously, he doesn't have a long contract, 18 months. He basically has up to the World Cup to show himself. So he's going to get down to business straight away, and I think he's not going to take shit. I hope that he plays people in the right positions. I think that's the most important thing. And I think there are just big questions. I think certain players do just need to be dropped because they just don't fit in at the moment.
Would you say Harry Kane is one of them?
No, I still would play Kane. I would not rely on Kane every single game, and I would say if there's oppositions where Watkins suits better, then put Watkins in. But I think Kane is still a vital part of the squad, of course. I think maybe Tommy Tuchel can get a bit more out of Kane than Southgate potentially did. I'm more talking about your Phil Fodens of the world.
What about in a final? Harry Kane is known for not showing up in finals.
Well, that's up to Tommy T to figure that out. But we got to get to them finals first.
Yeah. So, do you think he'll end up becoming? Do the FA know what they're actually getting into? Because they're known for hiring only the yes people. Like, you know what? Yes, so no, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Do they know Tommy Tuchel isn't that type of guy?
Well, it's not like Thomas Tuchel's just been out of the wood. It's not like they've just pulled him out of the woodwork and don't know anything about it. I think they know exactly how he is. He's been in the English game before, and he's shown what he is. So I think they know exactly what he is. And I think this is the FA's point of view to try and make a point of we want a manager that is going to bring this team forward. We've got the togetherness from Southgate, and Southgate's done a good job of doing that. But now we need a ruthless manager that is going to get us over the line and win things.
Yeah, you know what? You know what this reminds me? I know this in the international game isn't comparable to club games, but this reminds me of when what's the name of that guy? Yeah, Nigel Pearson handed over to Claudio Ranieri, and basically, what I feel, Southgate has built the foundations for Thomas Tuchel, and Tuchel will now just take us across the line. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I mean, you list a pretty good example, actually. I actually quite like that example you've actually given, to be fair. I think the Leicester example is a decent example of that. I think Nigel Pearson did a good job at Leicester. Obviously, at the time, Ranieri was brought in just to help try and keep him up, but I think actually they probably might have stayed up anyway, even if Nigel Pearson stayed. But I think Ranieri used that culture that was already built, tinkered with it a little bit because he is the tinker man, and got him to a title. And hopefully, I don't think there's much wrong with this England side. I think it just needs a bit more, using the French term, je ne sais quoi, a bit more something about them. I think we have really good players. You have players like Jude Bellingham. You have players like, all right, people slag him off in finals, but Harry Kane. You have multiple Champions League winners in this squad. You have multiple league title winners. You have serial winners in this team. You have players that have played multiple tournaments, even at younger ages as they are. There's quality all over the pitch. I think the key is, I think Tuchel needs to bring players into the fold that, for one reason or another, haven't been included in the fold.
God, I've taken a wrong turn. I've taken a wrong turn.
Oh, nip in.
God.
But But yeah, as I was saying, I think it's important to bring certain players into the fold. I think I'll list them players. I think it'll be, first of all, you need to bring Tamori into the fold in defence. Massively, because I think he's a very good he's a good defender that's not getting any sort of game time. Obviously, Colwill needs to be brought in a bit more. I know this is going to sound very Chelsea biased, but there you go. Someone that you're probably going to laugh at a little bit. I do think Ben White needs to be included back in. England.
But do you not think? He has a bit of an ego issue, Ben White?
I mean, I no one really knows what's gone on with this previous issue with Southgate, but at the end of the day,
Southgate will tell Tuchel, like, advise him, saying, you know what, Ben White's a problem, don't pick him?
I don't think Tuchel's the type of guy that will go and listen to a manager that's leaving the door. Of course, Southgate might give him some advice, but at the end of the day, Tommy T's got to be the one that makes the decisions. I think, I do think Ben White is a good player, deserves to be in this England squad, whether it is as a fullback in a defensive standpoint, or whether it's as if Thomas Tuchel wants to play a back three, play him on the right side, the back three, might be very good as well. But obviously, I think he's just a player that needs to be brought in back into the fold. Any other player that need to be brought back in? Obviously, Reece James, injury dependent. I think Thomas Tuchel needs to sort out this left back scenario, because obviously Shaw can't keep himself fit. Chilwell, he's not playing first team football, so I think he needs to have a look at other options, and I think he needs to have a good test of other players. So for me, that means your Tyreek Mitchells, that means your Leif Davis from Ipswich, that means any other options you want to have a look at that I can't think off the top of my head. But you need to try some multiple left back options to see who you want to bring into the fold, even if it is just a backup to Shaw, and when he's not fit, they come in. But these are issues that I think we need to look at. I think, depending obviously formation, whether Tuchel plays a back three or back four, a lot of people say we will play a back three. I think we'll predominantly still play a back four, but in certain games switch to a three, because we know this team is comfortable doing either. But I think we need to look at potentially bringing Bellingham back into that more box-to-box role, so it can make our midfield a bit more dynamic. But also in the aspect of allowing us to use more the attacking talent, your Palmers, your Sakas, a little bit more. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Big up to Melina, who's just made a comment in the comment section. Big up Bournemouth, just what I'm going to say. Not every team can beat Bournemouth this season. Beating Bournemouth is only for certain teams. Is what it is. Let's go. Up the cherries. Up the cherries.
Up the cherries. Up the cherries.
And screw Arsenal's title race.
Yep. Screw Arsenal.
I mean, to be fair, nipping. Going on to this conversation with Arsenal, when do you think they'll next one actually win a title? Are we talking 2030, 2040, 2050? Maybe
probably.
Maybe 2100.
Imagine this. Imagine if I know it's not going to happen, but imagine if Tottenham win the league before Arsenal.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it would be embarrassing, though. How embarrassing would it be for them?
I mean, I don't think that's going to happen.
I know it's not. I know it's not. But that's just. But that would just be. Yeah. Imagine if we win the title before Arsenal. Imagine if we win the league before Arsenal.
I'm not going to comment on that because I might say something I regret.
Say it in the private comments. I might even know what you're talking about. I'll check it when I park up. So, are you confident going? No, wait, I've already asked you that. Do you think we'll win that game then? The Liverpool game?
The Liverpool game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll win it. I think it'll be a very stressful game. I think there's going to be a fair amount of goals in it.
I went with 3 score lines. Sorry, I went with 2 score lines. My head and my heart. My head says it's going to be a 3-1 to Liverpool. My heart says it's going to be a 4-3 to Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go 3-2. My head says 1-1. My heart says 3-2 Chelsea.
Your head doesn't even say a draw. Your head doesn't say we lose.
Well, if you look at all of the games, most of the games we've played, we had that one game where I think we got a bit battered a little bit last season. But the cups and most of the league games have all ended in draws in normal time. So I don't think a draw is that much of a weird scoreline to predict, like with your head.
Yeah, look. Us winning tomorrow would be Arsenal's worst nightmare. Because that would mean them losing, Tottenham winning, Chelsea winning, and Man United winning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna have a look at something, and I'm gonna totally. I'm gonna totally.
The teams they hate the most.
No, I just looked. I was like, I was quickly just checking to see if we won, would we go top if Man City lost? But no, Liverpool 4 points ahead of us somehow. But yeah, I mean, if we win, we go above Arsenal. On goal difference.
For the first time in I don't know how long.
Would be 1 point off Liverpool, and depending on how City get on, they're obviously going to win. But I'm just saying, yeah, depends. Then we could be potentially, if City lose, then we'd be ahead of City on goal difference as well, which would be a bit mad.
All right. I'm at a red light, so let me take a look at your comment. Yeah, if I speak, I'm in big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Actually,
Joe, I'm gonna say something. There's more of a chance of us winning the Champions League before Arsenal win the league.
Yeah, even in our so-called finished era, we will probably end up winning more trophies than Arsenal.
Mate, in our finished period, we've got more European Cups than Arsenal got in their whole career, their whole history.
In their whole existence. I mean, let that sink in.
I mean, we could technically win the Conference League and have, 4 times as many European Cups as Arsenal do?
Right.
In the modern era.
You control for a bit.
Cool. Let's have a look to see if anyone has mentioned anything in the comments. Big up to Zane, taking the mick probably out of Melina, saying how you feel about today's result. Melina, I hear you're a bit quiet. I don't hear you at all. Don't see you commenting. You just said hi and you've left. Am I detecting a little bit of sadness about the result?
Right, Matt, you take control for a bit. I'm just going to set up.
Already ahead of you, Nick. Already ahead.
Okay, see
you. But guys, let me know what you think the Liverpool result is going to be in the comment section. Big up to all of you that are watching. 35 minutes in to basically nipping, being in his car again for a stream. There's 3 things that are inevitable in life: death, taxes, and nipping being in his car while doing a stream. There you go. Nipping taking a wrong turning, which is hilarious. But big up to Nipping, always looking to do streams no matter where he is. But let's talk about a subject regarding this England team that I think people are kind of going over the top to try and criticise, and that is the idea that Thomas Tuchel is going to bring his boy Mason Mount back into this fold. Absolutely not. I think this is just the classic example of mainstream media narrative, rival fans trying to push at Chelsea and Tuchel at the same time. Yes, Thomas Tuchel used Mason Mount a fair bit at Chelsea, but that was natural because Mason Mount was the golden boy at Chelsea at the time. That does not mean that he is Thomas Tuchel's boy. Does not mean he'll come into the England squad. I think Thomas Tuchel will look at players like Cole Palmer, look at players like Phil Foden, and think, wow, I've got great players. Look at players like James Maddison, look at players like Jack Grealish, and think, I could really do well with these players. I don't think Mason Mount, while he's not even starting properly for United, I don't think he's going to get a sniff near this team. And to make this ridiculous kind of comparison, just to take a dig at Thomas Tuchel, just to make a dig at Chelsea and in general and England, I think is borderline ridiculous. But I just wanted to I wanted to see what you guys think of that. Do you think Mason Mount makes his way back into a Chelsea side at this time, or do you think that is a bit of high in the kites type of opinion from certain people on the cesspit of X/Twitter/ whatever you want to call it? I guess Nippon is still setting up. I think he'd take quicker doing this, but there you go. And I'm going to keep rambling on until he comes back, because he takes ages. But this gives me a time actually to plug my own stuff. So if you want to find me on Chelsea Perspective. I'm currently doing his membership only videos. So all you have to do is go on to Chelsea Perspective, click the join button, and it's a very cheap, affordable membership if you can. We've got some quality videos that are already up that you can check out, some quality streams as well. If you want to check back to them, a little bit less relevant in terms of time period, but there's some videos on there that you can watch whenever you want. Doesn't matter. Not some are not really time specific. My latest one was the European Super League rant, with potential of it being back in 2025. So make sure you check them out. A lot more content coming on the way for them, but obviously make sure you check them out in your own time. Obviously, keep watching this and maybe check out after. But that's just a little plug for my own content. And I thought that would be enough time, but clearly Nippon is still taking a little bit longer. So we are going to talk and see. Well, actually, we're going to look in the comments to see if anyone has commented at all. It's a bit quiet. No one has yet. Of course, I think everyone just agrees in my opinion so much that they just don't need to put any comments in. Oh, we have one. We do have one as we speak. El Futuro Academy. Sorry, I can't highlight these comments on the stream. That is a complete nipping job. Obviously, he's not moving. Best move by England if they want to win a Gold Cup. Hands down, it's my opinion, and I couldn't agree with you more, mate. Hopefully, we can, as Thomas Tuchel said, get that second star and shut off a wide range of fans that have been coming after England for the longest time. Shut up the Spanish fans, shut up the Italians, shut up the Germans to a point. Shut up them American Yanks that want to moan at us. Carlito Jesters, you know who you are. Particularly. Big up. Check us out, Blue Code Project Podcast. But yeah, I think he's a great manager. Great knockout tournament manager. And I think I'm very excited to watch England again. That's the thing. I will watch World Cup qualifiers now because I want to see Tommy T in action. I was very upset when he left Chelsea. So the fact that I get to see him managing a team I support again is absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait for it. I can't wait for him to come back. And if he's still gone, I've started to run out of conversations, guys, because it's not easy just to talk to myself for a long period of time. Even though Nipping said he'd be a couple minutes, and he's not. But here he is. Here he is. Nipping.
Right, I'm back.
Nipping. I was running out of conversation. I already had to plug myself twice.
Best move by England if they want to win the World Cup. Absolutely. You know, the FA have finally decided to be ambitious.
Yeah. I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day.
And this is one of them.
Yeah.
This is one of those times.
Thankfully, it's on a manager and not just other stuff.
Precisely. Yeah, for some reason, my iPad doesn't seem to be getting any internet. So I just have to revert back to my phone.
That's fine. Well, we can hear you loud here at the moment.
So, who do you think will be dropped in Thomas Tuchel's first squad selection? Do you have any predictions? And who do you think will be called up?
Who do I think will be dropped? I can't even remember the last squad. The squad we've just played. Who will be called up?
Will there be any debutants?
So I'm trying to think. Because obviously, technically, it's going to be in January. Well, February. I don't know when the next. I don't know when Tuchel's first international break actually is. I actually going to look this up before I answer because I know it's not. Lee Carsley's still going to take charge of the November games.
I don't get why he doesn't start with immediate effect.
I think because the idea is that Thomas Tuchel is preparing for the World Cup. I just don't think. I just think it gives him more time to settle in. I think it's trying to not disrupt the flow too much. Obviously, there's 2 more games effectively of this competition left. 3 games if we finish second. So I think it's just more of a thing of we just want to settle it. We just want to finish this competition with one manager and then go on to the next. So I think, depending on fitness, you could see Reece James come back into the squad. I think you will see maybe depends on Ben Chilwell and his play time. You might see a Ben Chilwell dragged back into the squad. I think you will see a Leif Davis from Ipswich Town called up into the squad at left back. I think you will see. I think you'll see Jack Grealish. I know he was in this last squad. but I think you will see him potentially used a bit more heavily. I don't think you're going to see a Marcus Rashford. You could, and this is where I'm going to disagree with Tuchel a little bit if he does. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings back Raheem Sterling.
I couldn't care less if he did, if I'm honest with you.
I don't want him starting. Big up to Molina.
I have a question for Molina, actually. Was it a red card? Saliba getting sent off?
I actually, do you know what? I'm moaning. I'm laughing at Arsenal. I haven't even seen any of the games, so I can't even tell you if I think it's sent off or not. What do you think, Nippon?
Well, it was denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity, and he initially got a yellow for that. VAR reviewed it and it got upgraded to a red.
I bet Arsenal fans are loving VAR right now.
Here we go. It's a red, but I wouldn't see it happen to anyone else in the league. Yours truly on the panel. Just saying.
Sorry, I'm just getting bored of that tiring narrative.
Well, that if it was any other team in the league, it wouldn't be a red card.
Literally, I hear this from every single fan base.
Okay, so say if
everyone, where you get the smaller teams that say, "Oh, all the big six always get the decisions against us." It's always the smaller teams that have to lose out, and then there's like obviously you get the Arsenal fans say, "Oh, they want City to win the title," and then you get the City fans that are like, "Oh, the Premier League are just against us," blah blah blah.
Do you think? Tottenham. Okay, I have a question. Do you think if the last man standing was Virgil van Dijk instead of William Saliba, does he also get sent off? Or if it was Ruben Diaz instead of William Saliba, do either of them get sent off?
Am I remembering what happened with Liverpool Arsenal last season, where Liverpool fully wanted a game replayed because VAR screwed them over? Things happen. Unfortunately, Chelsea actually do have a history of it constantly happening, and sometimes with particular referees. But even then, I do think we naturally play into that a little bit ourselves. I mean, I would always say that 2009 was the biggest robbery on the planet, and I think every normal fan can admit that, whether you're a Chelsea fan or not. And that was
but then there are some, I'm not saying all, but then there are some rival fans who are just stubborn about it.
Oh yeah, but that's people who are blind beyond their own tribalism. Any normal football fan will admit that 2009 was one of the biggest crimes against football. But again, I even with that, I would say I'm a little bit biased, blue tinted glasses, but I don't think there's any particular. I mean, the funniest people who cry about agendas is when you get Manchester United fans moaning about refs, like as if they weren't the favourites, the golden boys of the Premier League for like 20 years.
That's why I'm enjoying their downfall so much.
Oh, I enjoy it. I wish. They're one of a few clubs that I would love to see burnt to the ground. Not literally, but kind of metaphorically.
Yeah, I know. Like you mean like run to the ground like mid-table mediocrity, basically.
I wouldn't even say that. I'd say like League One, League Two type crap.
Jesus, you were saying that about Man City
and their dog.
Do you take offence that No, we don't.
No.
I couldn't care less about his nationality. Now I'm going to go on that rant. as long as he wins us the World Cup, as long as he brings it home, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I'm actually just looking for something quickly to say. I'm trying to get the translation of it.
But all I'm going to say is tribalism is ruining the sport.
Yeah, it is. Massively. German. I mean, football's always been tribal, but it's going to keep being like that, unfortunately. So this is Google Translate German that I'm gonna say, and I'm probably gonna butcher this, but es kommt und jetzt.
Okay, what does that mean?
Oh wait, that I'm gonna rechange that because I realised I did the English translation. Es kommt nach home. Hos.
It's not. It's coming home.
That's what Tommy T's gonna be when we've got our national anthem. He's gonna be thinking them 4 words in his head. Es kommt nach Haus.
I mean, we need our fans with those banners saying that in German.
Haus. Es kommt nach Haus. Es Knoms Haus. Wird
Nice.
kommen Haus.
Right, nice. So, well, we're 52 minutes in, reaching the hour mark. We need. I can't see the like count on here. Have I even got more than a like?
Let's have a look.
Let's see. Let's see. You have no idea how shameless I will be.
You have 4 likes.
But
5,
I'll tell you one
6.
thing.
The 6 likes, so guys, push them likes up. Get us 10 likes.
Come on, get it to 10. Get it to 10. And also hoping to reach 1K this year. I'm already on 800 subs.
800's good. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm hoping the team is built around the speed and skill like Cole Palmer.
It's undeniable that you need Cole Palmer in the middle. And this is why I am massively advocating for Jude Bellingham to be dropped back into a number 8 role.
Wait, dropped altogether? No, not dropped altogether, though. No.
No, but into number 8. Partner him, put him next to Declan Rice. Obviously, Declan Rice sits. Bellingham roams a little bit forward, almost a Kante role. Yes, you're going to reduce the goals. Maybe Bellingham scores. But to have Cole Palmer, Saka, and another up top with Kane, that's more than enough goals in there that you don't need Bellingham in that attacking midfield role.
But Cold Palmer, yes, I said that on purpose. Cold Palmer will make up for it.
Exactly. I mean, there's plenty of players to make up for it.
Yeah. Plenty. Yeah, so, I'm hoping, there's one I hope they bring to the national team. Liam Delap.
It probably will happen at some point, but I think it's a bit early.
Do you see him ever calling up Kiernan Dewsbury Hall?
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
He's got to play a lot more for Chelsea and play better at Chelsea to get called up.
Yeah.
I think there's other obviously you've got injuries to Kobe Mainu now, so maybe other players, but I think you've got players like Angel Gomez that are a bit more in the fold, and I think Angel Gomez has actually played quite well when he has played, so I think he could keep himself in the fold a little bit.
Another one. I'm thinking. Oh, Illing Jr., the guy who used to play for Juventus, now at Aston Villa.
Who?
Illing Jr.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Again, I don't think not yet. Maybe in the future, but not immediately.
Yeah.
I think there's just other players that are more higher up on the rota. I mean, Conor Gallagher, for example.
Yeah. Do you think he'll be? Do you think he'll start any games under Thomas Tuchel?
Um, Probably not, but I think he'll may still play a decent role coming off the bench. He might be one of his key subs in terms of game management.
And dare I say it, I know a lot of Man United fans hate him. Do you see Mason Mount? Do you see him calling up Mason Mount?
I did mention this already while you was gone as one of my talking points. No, I think it's just a load of rubbish. I think until Mason Mount is playing consistently for United, there is no chance. I mean, the fact that players like James Maddison can't get into the squad, and people think Thomas Tuchel's just going to suddenly call up Mason Mount, I think is almost a bit of a ludicrous opinion, in my opinion. But it is what it is. People will carry on saying it. Actually, someone who could get called up quite quickly is someone like Jadon Sancho, to be fair. And I think Wi-Fi is gone, so of course he's not going to hear my answer on that. But I'll say that again when he comes back on, just to hear his opinion on that. But big up to everyone that is commenting and listening. There's another comment. Grealish is too slow. Depends on what role you want Grealish to be in. I don't think he's too slow, particularly. I think he'd do absolutely fine in certain roles. It just depends on what role you want him to play. And then obviously that is up to I just nearly said Antonio. I'm thinking Antonio Conte for some reason. No, Antonio Conte is not in the England role. But yeah, it'll be up to Thomas Tuchel to see what role Grealish plays. I agree as a wide player, he's not the fastest for that role, but potentially is a number 10. Whether in a front three, whether he wants to play Grealish as an inside forward, potentially that could be okay for him as well. But we'll see. Nipping you back. Nipping, you're on mute. Oh, Nipping is completely gone now. Right, so you've just got my ugly mug on the face full time. So I am just going to chat seamlessly. Oh, Nipping is back.
Sorry, the old man called again.
Oh, what does he want, Nipping?
He's just asking where I am.
Did you tell him you're in a service station?
I did. I said South Mims, and he knew exactly where I was after I said that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I think that's all we've spoken a bit about the Liverpool game. Are you confident in our fixtures after Liverpool?
Considering Newcastle lost to Brighton and haven't been that great, I'm more confident on that. United,
I'm more worried because of that.
no, I think we'll do fine against
Are you are you
Newcastle.
are you not getting what I'm saying? An animal is most dangerous when they're at their most wounded.
Yeah, but I think Newcastle have been wounded for a few weeks now. I don't think they've been that spectacular all season. And of course, an animal may, like, for example, I made this point in the women's game. Arsenal got beat 5-2 by Bayern Munich, by the way. Melina, if you're listening, 5-2 to Bayern Munich. Bayern
Arsenal get
curse is
battered
coming back again.
everywhere they go. Arsenal
Um,
get battered everywhere they go.
but yeah,
Everywhere they go.
we then Chelsea then had them on the weekend, not this weekend today, the weekend before. Obviously, they had them just after, so you could say the same thing. Wounded animal, and Chelsea beat them convincingly. It was a little bit touch and go towards the end, but Chelsea controlled the game and made their manager quit. Man tapped out. But to get 3, 4, 5 games into the season, couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the pressure.
Who is this we were talking about?
The Arsenal manager, Jonas Eidevall.
Oh God, he's I can't stand him.
Yeah, well, he's gone now.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of sacked managers, Eric Ten Hag ain't going nowhere. Thank you, Garnacho. Thank you. No, it wasn't him. It was Hoyland. Thank you, Rasmus Hoyland. Thank you for
Did you,
saving Eric Ten Hag's job.
did you
Eric Ten
see that?
Hag is at the wheel.
Did you see that Mark Goldbridge was actually at a game?
And did you see what I quote tweeted?
No.
I said, what is a Nottingham Forest fan doing at the home end of Old Trafford?
No. Boring. Never heard that one before.
I'm trying to look for it right now.
Well, it's fine. It's a bad joke anyway.
Oh, maybe I didn't do it in the end then. Maybe I forgot something. Yeah, I forgot. I was meant to tweet it, but then something just came up. But yeah, but do you not think he's actually but a lot of people saying he's a Nottingham Forest fan.
I mean, there's no proof, so people just talking shit because they're jealous of success.
Yeah. Mark Goldbridge. Yeah, they're just, I mean, like, I don't agree with a lot of things he says, but sometimes people are just jealous of his success. I'm not going to lie.
So many are, and you get all the people that jump on the back of his success, and then leave and slag him off, and then try and ride it even more.
Same thing people say about what's his name? What's that guy who was with he's a United fan. Can't remember his name now, but he was with Mark Goldbridge a lot.
Flex.
McCullough. Adam McCullough.
Yeah, I suppose.
Then he got accused of being a I think it was one of the Birmingham clubs, because that's where he's from.
Well, that's the thing. Someone could be from somewhere, but I mean, we know most Man United fans live in London anyway. So it's what does it matter if they live in London or Nottingham? Doesn't mean that. I mean, for me, I live in Essex. Does that mean I'm a West Ham fan?
Of course not.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. I mean, I just think it's just cheap digs people want to give it to people.
Look, I'm from Walthamstow, so technically, So technically, by postcode, I should either
Spurs.
be Spurs or Tottenham, Spurs or West Ham. But no,
Well, you could be Arsenal. You do like to go to the Emirates a lot.
that was to that was to meet that was to meet another content creator.
Yeah, we know. You did go to the Tottenham process, though, didn't you?
And basically, I'll tell you what I was experimenting for a lot of these. You know, like how a lot of fans from other clubs go to stadiums um, and say this one or that one, this one or that one.
Mm-hmm.
But that was me trying to do fan cams with all different types of people from my channel. So, for example, while I was at the Emirates, I managed to get a fan cam with Robbie, with Flex.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So me going to other stadiums is literally for my content.
Was going to the Tottenham process for your content.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to get their opinion as a rival fan.
All 14 fans.
No, there was only two I managed to get, and one of them was a content creator.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to say their name on stream.
Why not?
Okay, her name is Holly. I don't know if you've subscribed to her channel or anything.
I don't subscribe to it. I don't subscribe to any Tottenham fans channel, but
I subscribe to every content creator channel I like, basically.
big up to Holly's channel, and obviously anyone that wants to subscribe.
Yeah. And the other one who I interviewed was just one of their regular match day going fans. So enough about oh god, I don't want to talk about Spurs and Arsenal. But what I was saying about Arsenal before I took the wrong exit and went up the up the A1 was
So hold on,
if
Nippy, you don't want to talk about Arsenal or Tottenham, but you go on and talk about Arsenal.
no, I'm gonna shut up on once of this. It is going to be their worst nightmare. It's going to be their worst nightmare if we win tomorrow. Because that will mean they lose, we win, Man United win, and then Tottenham. That will literally be their worst nightmare. All the clubs they hate end up winning.
I wouldn't say it's their worst nightmare, but their
I
worst
think they've
nightmare.
already had their worst nightmare.
Their
Them
worst
being
night.
walloped, them being walloped in Baku by us.
I think their worst nightmare is waking up to see Tottenham win the league.
Well, that's not happening, but right now it's
I know,
us beating them
but
in a Europa League final.
nipping. This is why I said nightmare / dream, because that's the only place it's going to happen. You see how I
Nah.
find a way of digging Arsenal and Tottenham fans at the same time.
Uh-huh.
They're
Who
both
do you hate more?
They're both sharing the same mud.
Look, when it comes to teams, Tottenham are my sixth most dislike. They don't make my top five.
Who is your top 5?
Okay. English or
Worldwide.
okay. Liverpool? It was after the two cup finals that really got them to me. This is personal. Man United at number 4. Barcelona at number 3. Arsenal, funnily enough, at number 2. And by a long shot, Celtic at number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I would say top 5 in no particular order: Leeds, Man United, Barcelona, Real Madrid.
What have Real Madrid done to you?
Probably Arsenal.
Probably.
Yeah.
Not more than Real Madrid.
No, I mean,
No.
Arsenal were annoying, but they didn't start the Super League.
Arsenal. Look, Arsenal are like that dog that never bites.
I mean, Arsenal
You
are
know what I
also.
mean by
I
saying
mean,
that?
if I'm gonna rank it in terms of top 5,
In terms of fan base.
in terms of fan base, purely fan base.
Yeah.
In no particular order: Barcelona, West Ham, Leeds, Man United, Arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, Barcelona. There's many reasons I can't stand that club.
Barcelona naturally make my top 5.
I mean, it's funny. Barcelona would be in my top 5 for men and women. Both their fan bases are just as annoying as each other.
Yeah, I can't. I'm never gonna forget that refereeing incident in which she showed. I think it was one of the Chelsea players a yellow card, and then she grinned at about it. She knew what she knew she made the wrong decision.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started, Nippin.
Do you know what I'm talking about, right?
Nippin, I was there live watching it happen. It was a disgrace.
Disgracia, as they say in Spanish.
Yeah. I mean, what other clubs do I dislike? I don't like Juventus because I generally think they're a bunch of cheats as a football
Well,
club.
Italian clubs in general, to be fair.
Yeah, but I have more respect for like AC Milan, Inter Milan, Napoli. I have no respect for Juventus. Who else do I dislike? I think PSG's fans can be a bit annoying. So I don't like them.
Marseille,
Or
given the fact that they're starting to build a team made of complete wrong'uns.
yeah, Marseille, Prison FC, Ghent. I cannot stand Ghent. They're probably near enough in my top 5, to be fair.
Do Ghent hire criminals?
No, they're just all a bunch of wrong ones.
Can't be any worse than Marseille that have actual criminals in their team.
No, I mean in terms of fan base, by the way. I don't mean in terms of club.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You and me, we were at the game. We saw that firsthand.
Joe, it's not even that I hated them before that. That just conveniently backed up my opinion.
So
I
you knew
mean,
what they were like before the game as well.
well, Nippin, bear in mind that my Belgian club is Club Bruges, and their rival against Ghent is literally named the Battle of Flanders.
Oh yeah.
Like you
Isn't there a
cannot get
World War? Isn't
you could
there?
you that is up there with like El Clasico in terms of like derby names, the Battle of Flanders, because it literally is just a war.
Is it like? Is it the the national Belgian derby?
Um,
Like, for example, it's El Clasic. It's Is it the El Clasico in Belgium?
hmm,
Like in the UK, it's Liverpool Man United.
I suppose maybe there's a few other derby games in Belgium that were probably just as bad. So you got Standard Liège versus anyone basically. Standard Liège are a bit mental themselves.
Do the players hate each other? Like,
Yes,
obviously the fans and all that, but like, do the players like proper hate each other?
yeah, I think it's a derby that they all get up for. And Bruges Antwerp don't like each other either. That always kicks off on the pitch.
Yeah,
That
Eindhoven and
that's the thing because
Ajax.
that Club Bruges share a stadium with another Bruges club called Cercle Bruges. So that's technically their big derby, but it's not actually that unfriendly. Um,
Um, them stadium sharing is nothing new.
no, I know.
Inter and Milan share a stadium.
Why? Oh, yeah, I know that. I'm not saying it's new, but
Lazio and Roma both play their games at the Stadio Olimpico.
no. But I'm saying that they. I'm just saying that's supposed to be the big derby, but they get on very well for a derby game.
Is it more fierce than Chelsea Arsenal?
What, the two Bruges clubs or Bruges Gent?
Is the derby between them two more fierce than Chelsea Arsenal?
The two Bruges clubs. No, it's quite tame.
Yeah. So, do you think we can get a result against Arsenal, or is that going too far?
We'll see how both teams are closer to the time. I'm not going to make a comment on it now.
Yeah. So I think we've covered everything for like we've covered a bit of Chelsea, what our next fixtures are going to be, the main topic, which is Thomas Tuchel becoming the England manager. Do you think is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Nope. I am got nothing else to say. If I speak anymore, I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about that when we do our Chelsea show, which I need to talk to you about backstage, by the way. So
Cool.
yeah, with that being said, Matt, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Twitter with my handle MattJBall98. You can find me on the Blue Code Project podcast on Spotify or Twitter or Apple Podcast. And you can find me on the Chelsea Perspective YouTube channel in the membership only section. So come subscribe, click the join button to buy a membership. Very good content, weekly content from me, and it's decent content. Nip in, you get a membership. Get yourself a membership. Join the gang.
Will do. So, yeah, big up everyone, big up the chat, big up Chelsea sessions, big up Chelsea perspective. And you can find me on all those socials ticking below. You can also find me as a semi regular on Worldwide Chels. You can also find me as an occasional caller on Football Carnage TV, ran by the Big Six's very own Grizz Khan. And you can, and I will be more active now since Premier League football is back. Hopefully, to get a fan cam for the game after the game tomorrow, Matt. If you have time, you can do a fan cam as well. And yeah, with that being said, I shall see you all in the next one. Big up.
Big up.